Back at Roy S. Anderson Gymnasium, along with Tom Larey, Josh Komnick, Jeff Benjamin with you, joined by Coach Neil Alexander. Coach Alexander, congratulations on the win tonight. It's one of those deceiving wins when you look at the scoring column, 65-43. The Railers had come in averaging 22 points as their margin of victory. The same thing here tonight, but things were just way too easy defensively for Danville because they got it in, and they got it in often, and they took advantage of it.
No doubt, and disappointed in our defensive effort, but you also got to know these kids have played 5 games in 6 days, and the way we play is pressing, running, jumping, and doing those types of things takes it out of you. And you can say you can condition them more, but they're going to cramp regardless. So we had 3 or 4 of them that was cramping tonight late in this 3rd quarter into the 4th, and we made it through. But that's going to be a good basketball team. They've got 3 kids that are still football players that aren't here. 2 of them are starters. The good thing is they're a 4A this year, so they won't be in the 3A tournament because they will be a good basketball team when said and done. Yeah, Coach, and all in all, the week, we were just talking about up until tonight, really, the effort had been really good. The play had been good. Of course, we've shot the ball well all 5 games, but all in all, a good week for the Railers. 5-0. I'm not sure that us guys, we talked about it. We didn't know if we would be that coming out of this tournament, but a good showing by the Railers and a good showing, coming up that we're going to need for that seeding Collinsville tournament. These next games at Normal West on Saturday. There's a lot of games coming up that we need to make a statement at to get that that ultimate goal of the #1 seed in Collinsville. Well, we got to come out. We have to. Next week will be a big game for us. The last few years we played pretty well up at Normal West, and we want to make sure that we go up there. I think they're doing very well in the city tournament. I don't know if they've been beaten or not, but I kind of like it if they were undefeated when we went in there, and we could play, put a little pressure on us, and playing on somebody else's court. That would be a good way to go up there and play. But we've got that, and then we've got Rochester, Jacksonville, and Taylorville, all 3 very winnable games to finish out before the Christmas break. And I think this one coming up is the key for us to be able to probably get the #1 seed.
Right. Coach, comment if you would. I know in all the years we've spoken with you that one of the things that really just drives you crazy defensively is when someone's really shooting well and your defenders don't find that shooter. And tonight it was Hightower, and being a stationary shooter as he is, it seemed like he had a lot of easy shots from the not counting obviously the 2 shots he made at the end of the half and the end of the quarter. But as Josh mentioned, you've got to find him wherever he is because he's a good set shooter. That's what he does. Yeah,
and I'm sure they're saying the same thing about Nelson.
We've been wondering about that all tournament.
But. You got to find him, and again, we were gassed, but we still got to come out and play with some heart when we get to that point in time. And that test, this game was just a test of how tough you were. And I didn't think we got up and played with toughness defensively. We kind of just flowed through the game, hoping they would do the same thing.
Yeah, and probably just a well-animated speech at halftime. But, Coach, that got him going a little bit, as you've done many of times playing, coaching with you. I'm sure it was. But, a game like this is not always sometimes bad to get back to reality check. And blowing people out by 30 points is not the easiest thing because then you get a mindset that you're going to do it all the time. So it is nice. Yes, it is nice. But there are going to be games, as you well know, that are going to happen that are going to happen like this.
Well, you need games that are close and tight, and to be able to test because when you get into games like that, your shooting becomes a little more difficult. It's not as easy to shoot and make the 3. It's there's more pressure on you than when you got a 30-point lead. You can step up, shoot it, pop it without any worries. And if you miss one, it's over. But but if it's a tied game and you miss one, it means a little bit. So you need to play in some situations like that because we are going to have games like that.
Yeah, definitely some things to come back on. If you give them Monday off, Tuesday for practice, you got some things to work on.
Well, we'll have a short one on Monday, but we will go up and watch Normal West play. I think they're playing U High Monday at 6 o'clock, so we'll come in and run them and try and get their legs loosened up a little bit and do some things. But we've got some things we got to work on. We got to work on a box and one. We got to work with a big lineup and getting them smooth in what we're doing, and even triangling too. I think that we could see that before we're done. Him, Nelly, and Smitty.
Or both guys on Nelly.
well, that could be too.
Yeah.
But it's so we've got some things to do, and I hope the guys. I told them I thought we played exceptionally well this week. I hope they don't become complacent and this be the best that we played all year, because that's not the way it's supposed to work.
Right.
Coach, one thing we always ask you about the state of the Railers after just this first week, but tonight we want to ask your impressions of a player like Christian Van Hook. You've said before on Josh's Cheap Seats show that he may very well be the best athlete that you've ever coached. I think the fans that were out here this week really got a glimpse of what extra dimensions he adds to this team, and if he can play to his capabilities, it makes this team much more dangerous.
Well, I thought that the reason we opened the lead up there in the end of the third quarter into the fourth was his dominating the paint and blocking 2 or 3 shots. It made him become a little more conscious of people in there, and I thought that was a key. But we got to get the lobs to him because he's up there on them, but they're all over the place, and we've got to figure out a way to get them right where he knows where they're at, that he can go up and get them and put them down. But he can also he's a good shooter.
Yeah.
But he's just got to get comfortable. There's times where the shots that he takes aren't good shots, but you don't want to tell him that because he'll quit shooting. So he's just got to fill in. I was very pleased with his effort, as all our kids. I think all of them played their roles, did what they had to do, and made things happen.
And I guess the one other thing that you got to give Christian credit for is some of the lobs, especially tonight, that weren't where he needed them to be. He didn't rush it. He didn't force anything. He made the catch, saved the possession, get everything back out. I think there was one other possession that Josh probably remembers where Christian did a nice job of his man was overplaying him, so he and Smitty had some sort of eye contact. He went to the basket, Nathaniel with a nice pass down the lane, and it was up and good.
Well, there was no eye contact. We called that one in the huddle. And Josh could probably call it for you, what we called it. So, that's what we do in our offense, is you can pick things out, even though we haven't worked on that, but all it was just a spin with a lob. And, they were denying it. People know that we go through the elbow or the free throw line extended with most of our offensive sets, and you got to have counters when they start overplaying. Another way they do it is drop the point guard defensively back in there. And when they do that, then you've got to pick him and lob to your point guard. So there's just different ways that you can, counter what they're trying to do to you.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on the win. An oddity in the schedule, thanks to the addition of Rochester with the conference games. I can't remember the last time after the Thanksgiving tournament you had a Friday off.
Yeah, I don't ever remember having one off, and other than maybe over Christmas break where the tournament was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But it's kind of odd, and it makes for a long week for the kids, but also give them a break. Monday, like I said, we'll come in. It won't be very long, but we'll get a lot of shooting in and work at things, and because we'll want to get up and see Normal West play.
All right, Coach, congratulations on the win, both tonight and for the tournament, 5-0. And good week of practice, hopefully. Hopefully the conditioning gets back in shape with the cramps and everything's okay. And we'll see you Saturday night up in Normal West.
Okay, thank you.
Railers with the victory, 65-43. We'll be back with more of the post game in a moment. You're listening to Lincoln Railer Basketball.